Hi everyone, Empress Justice here. I know it's been a while since I uploaded on my Empress Justice Tarot channel, but I thought, fuck it. It's the full moon in Purva Bhadrapada. It is definitely the full moon in Pisces, both for Vedic astrology and for Western astrology. And on top of that, this full moon is a partial eclipse. So we're coming back around to that eclipse again. It's eclipse season. And I think even though there are many of us who are not in direct line of the eclipse, like over here in the UK, it's only a partial lunar eclipse. We're still feeling the effects of that eclipse. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a big, a big drastic change in many people's lives. But what we may find is that during eclipse season, during any type of eclipse, the things that we are used to doing or the things that are normal to us will be kind of flipped on its head. And I feel like the reason why this happens is to actually remove us from our comfort zone, make us confront our expectations or confront our desires, and find out what we actually do when we're put in the position of getting what we want or of being in receivership of things that we actually expect. And I believe that's actually the purpose of eclipse season from a symbolic standpoint. The purpose is to actually test us on our beliefs, on our expectations, on our intentions and our desires. Like, what do we actually believe and know and want? So yes, it's human nature for us to actually develop this alternate personality that we wear in the world. And usually this alternate personality is one that is the opposite to who we truly are. It's not always true, but in a lot of times it can be the case that many of us project an image into the world that is not actually us. And what the eclipse does is it forces us out in the open. It forces us out in the open, and it forces us to confront, like I said before, what our intentions are, what our expectations are, what our beliefs are, and what our desires are. The eclipse is the perfect time for us to get to grips with these things. As our familiar comforts, that is the comfort that we take from being somebody that we're not. As our familiar comforts are either upended, removed from us, or suffer minor inconveniences, we are forced to look at ourselves in the mirror during lunar eclipses. And during this very, very intense moon, because we're not just talking about a Piscean moon, we're also talking about a moon in Purva Bhadrapada. We're talking about double Jupiter energy, which is about as dual natured as you can get. So not only are we confronted with the dual side of our nature, we're confronted with a more concentrated form of it, because the lunar eclipse is in Purva Bhadrapada in Pisces. So we are really, really forced to confront on some level who we truly are at this point. And there are many of us who may not like what we find, while others of us might be pleasantly surprised at what we find out about ourselves. It does reveal our shadow sides. Like, the trueness of who we are is actually both light and dark. But what Purva Bhadrapada reveals is the concentrated version of your shadow side, as well as the concentrated side of who you want to project yourself as. We may find that we don't get to project ourselves as falsely as we ordinarily would do, which is ironic, because Pisces is the sign of delusion normally. But when we're dealing with Purva Bhadrapada Pisces, we don't get to hide. We don't get to hide behind anything, because it's a sign of merciless honesty and authenticity. We don't get to hide with Purva Bhadrapada. But this is the fortunate thing now. Purva Bhadrapada is in a lunar eclipse, which means it is in line with Hasta. Hasta is in Virgo, but it's in Ketu, right? And the lunar eclipse is also let me get my words together. The lunar eclipse, in fact, let me turn this down actually. So, it's okay, I'm wearing shorts. Okay, so, with Purva Bhadrapada, full moon, we're forced to confront who we actually are. And, you know, again, the irony is that we're dealing with Pisces, right? And Pisces is supposed to be the delusional sign. But when you get into the Purva Bhadrapada portion of Pisces, you're dealing with non-tangible reality. And the truth of the matter is that non-tangible reality is called non-tangible reality for a reason. It's because it's still realism. It's still reality. Just because we can't immediately perceive it with our five senses as clearly as we would like, it doesn't mean it's not real. So the truth of who we are from a non-material perspective, that is exactly what comes out during the full moon in Purva Bhadrapada. So, yeah, there's that. And all the duality within Purva Bhadrapada, you know, the need to win versus the needed to be loved, because Purva Bhadrapada is devotional when it comes to its spouse, right? Or devotional when it comes to his spouse, because PB is Jupiterian energy, refined masculine, right? So we've got this duality between wanting to accomplish for self and wanting to stand alone, and wanting devotion and partnership and love and romance. So there is duality between that. There's also duality between living in the past and almost having your life as a shrine to the past or as a tomb to the past. And on the other side, like not wanting to rest in the past too much and wanting to innovate and create and really look to the future. So there are heavy questions with the Purva Bhadrapada full moon here. And also, I don't know if you guys remember the last rant and a reading I did. I think it was the first one that I did. Or I can't remember. Actually, like I did loads of rants and readings on Empress Justice Daily. But on one of them, I explained the energy of September. And I said that many of us are going to be looking for community. Many of us are going to be looking for like-minded people to share our lives with. We're going to try to look for external perfection in our environment. We're gonna want to dress better, look better. But I said in order to have that, we had to get to know ourselves first, and we had to beat the path least trodden in our lives and in the lives of everyone that we know. And the irony of that is that during this full moon, not only are we likely to do that, not only are we likely to blaze a trail to find out who we are, because again, Purva Bhadrapada shadow side is all about that. We're actually encouraged to do that because it's a lunar eclipse full moon, which means that even though the moon is powerful, it's not so powerful that it will overtake us and have us acting out of pocket. We will still have that merciless honesty, that insistence on authenticity, but it's not going to be to the point where we are questioning what the hell is going on. It's not going to really make us doubt ourselves like that. It's a wake-up call, but it's a relatively gentle one, relatively speaking, because it's a lunar eclipse, okay? And it's partial as well. So we do have a little bit more leeway this full moon to actually explore Purva Bhadrapada's themes of authenticity and where we truly belong and what non-material things that we actually take pleasure in, or even what we value the most in terms of non-material stuff like music, art, religion, spirituality. All of these things are going to come to the forefront during the full moon, and we're encouraged to at least look at it. But the angle from which we look at it, once again, the key to that is in our key to, as in the key to our enlightenment and our authority is going to lie in Hasta in Virgo, because key 2 is still in Hasta. Key 2 is still the nakshatra of excellence. It's still the nakshatra of living up to cultural ideals, creating great works that inspire other people, being great enough to inspire other people. So what we're encouraged to do is we're encouraged to be an authentic side of ourselves, or a shadow part of ourselves that actually inspires people to be excellent. So looking at it through Hasta's vision, it maintains a certain purity in our authenticity. We're talking about maximal assimilation into the pursuit of excellence here. So with Hasta pursuing excellence in Ketu, and with Purva Bhadrapada in Pisces pursuing authenticity, but they also pursue excellence, because Purva Bhadrapada, they like to seek glory. So Purva Bhadrapada also pursues excellence. So we've got a lunar eclipse in Purva Bhadrapada that is almost perfectly aligned with the Ketu and Hasta here. So we're encouraged to use this energy not only to trod the beaten path, but to do it excellently. To do it excellently. That's what we are challenged to do during this full moon. And every time, maybe it's because I'm going to be a bit vulnerable here. I think it's since January that I've really been thinking a lot about changes and the transition of power. And where Purva Bhadrapada is concerned, you have to remember that Jupiter also represents change in leadership. It represents good fortune, sure, but it also means favored leadership. If there's new leadership, then it would usually be a Jupiter dominant sign that other people would look to in order to herald the changes. And looking at this carefully, you've got Jay-Z, who's got his past Fortune in Vishaka, which is the same as Beyonce's moon in Vishaka. You've got Kendrick Lamar, who's Purva Bhadrapada, I think he's Purva Bhadrapada moon. You've got Kendrick Lamar, Purva Bhadrapada moon. So there are all these Jupiterian influences that are heralding the change that people have been calling for years. But this is the thing about Jupiter. Jupiter gets the truth out and gives revolution to the people that is digestible to the people. Meaning, Jupiter is likely to talk about revolutionary ideas and talk about differences in a way that still doesn't rock the boat too much in terms of the status quo. That's why people would rather hear from a Jupiter about what needs to change in the world rather than a Mars person, rather than a Ketu person, rather than a Sun person even. And a Sun person like literally knows what needs to be changed, but they're like, no, I don't care. Don't drag me into this bullshit. So shout out to the hidden octave, because the hidden octave pointed this out. Some dominant people know the truth, but they don't care. They don't care. They just want to get on with their lives as optimally as possible. So with Jupiter now, people often look to Jupiter because Jupiter, in the midst of wanting to change things for the better, or so it would seem, wanting to change things for the better in a way that doesn't upset the status quo too much, in wanting to do that, they know how to entertain people, or they know how to make people feel good, or they know how to make people feel cared for. So I feel like that's the reason why people would rather get behind a Jupiterian person rather than a Mars person. A Mars person will do the same thing, will talk about all the, they will do one of two things. Either they will talk about the idiocies of the world to back up their own viewpoint or back up their own obsession with identity, or they will tell the truth, but they'll do it in a way that's kind of stern. So Mars is an acquired taste when it comes to revealing the truth about things. Ketu is even more of an acquired taste when it comes to revealing the truth about things. because you've got Ketu in Exalt in Sagittarius. Used to be Scorpio, but it's Sagittarius, I believe. And then you've got Mars in, you know, whose Exalt is in Capricorn. You're talking about sensing and shaping the world. But unlike Jupiter, who can actually afford to lend their empathy in order to make people feel like they're changing the world for the better, Mars and Ketu are better off being silent. We're better off, because I'm Ketu, right? We're better off silently through our actions demonstrating how the world needs to be changed. We're better off doing that through our works and through our efforts. Especially Ketu. Because Mars, when Mars is ready, they can be very good leaders. But Ketu, we're better off not saying anything. We're better off just doing what we need to do in order to change the world. But Jupiter can talk. Jupiter can relate. Jupiter can create. Jupiter can make you feel good. So I feel like what we're seeing, what we've been seeing in 2024 with all this Jupiterian energy. And again, we've got to go back to January. We've got to go back to the first quarter moon in Ashwini. We've got to go back to the moon in Purva Bhadrapada on the 15th of January. This whole year has been about changing the world in a way that makes the world feel comfortable rather than what makes the world feel alienated. So that's why this whole full moon in Purva Bhadrapada thing, it really makes me reminisce about January. And it brings me back to the point about how we can blaze a lesser known trail in our own lives. Because ultimately what we are being asked to do is, yes, to be our authentic selves and be merciless in it, but to do it in a way that makes people feel good. And with Ketu and Hasta, to do it in a way that inspires through excellence. So that was my full moon spiel. Now I'm just gonna fuck around a little bit. I'm gonna relax a little bit, fuck around a little bit. Why? Because I've got lots of decks to I've got an abundance of decks to like fucking, I don't know which decks to pick. I've got so many. And because I haven't been doing any regular readings, I've got a wide selection to choose from. So you're gonna have to bear with me while I try to figure out which should I do. I'm going to do a pick a card reading for you guys. There's no one online right now, so I'm going to do a pick a card in a minute. I just got to choose the decks. Oh, while I'm selecting a deck, let me know in the comments how you guys are doing when this is uploaded onto YouTube. Let me know how you guys are doing. If you're feeling all right, if you know you're nourished, you're hydrated and all that, how things are going in your world, like just let me know. Yeah, let me see what I can get, because we want to Purva Bhadrapada moon, right? What cards do we want? These ones? These ones? Yes, I think these ones here. I don't know why, but I was drawn to this, Angels of Abundance by Doreen Virtue for the Oracle cards. And I was drawn to the Animal Tarot. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to use 2 Tarot decks and 2 Oracle decks for this pick a card, okay? That's what I'm going to do. Alright, so in a minute, I'm going to ask you to choose between 4 different options. And whatever you choose will be your reading. So, what do I want to ask? I think I'll make it a general pick a card reading. I'm just going to make it vague. Just make it vague. Or should I make it vague? Let's see what I can make it. Who is the real you? Yes. Who is the real you? I'm gonna be bold and be a bit audacious and do that. Who is the real you? That's gonna be the pick a card for today. All right. And after I pick these cards, I'm gonna ask you to choose an object, a la Lexi's tarot. Oh, shit, you saw that. Gonna have to, no, actually, no. Let me keep that and give you another card. Pile 3. So I'm gonna take inspiration from Lexi's tarot and have you pick an object that I'm gonna have you guys pick an object, and that object will be your pile for today. Okay. Okay, I got this for everybody. 8 of Wands. What our authentic selves will come down to is how much we enjoy what we do. Just letting you guys know that now. Let's see. Okay. Trying to figure out what to do here. This card was meant to be for number 3, but I'm going to read this for everybody. Passion and prosperity. Because this is the Emerald Dragon, right? The Emerald Dragon says, good fortune is coming. Let your thoughts support your divine perfection. Align with your 5th dimensional blueprint. I feel like the reason why this was meant to be seen is because this is a reminder for you to follow your positivity, to follow your passion. See, human beings make mistakes, but spirit never does. You see that shit? You are meant to follow your passions. Follow your light. This card was meant to be seen for a reason. Follow your passions, follow your light, follow your enjoyment. That is the key to following your true authenticity. And when you put excellence and work behind that, I know it doesn't become as juicy anymore, but sometimes when you squeeze the juice from something, you come out with something incredible. You come out with something that tastes phenomenal. Okay? So, yeah. Those are messages that I got for everyone. And now I'm going to put the animal tarot down. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add an extra deck. Fuck it. I'm going to add an extra tarot deck. Should I add an additional oracle? I'm going to add an additional oracle as well. Alright, so that can be number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Who is the true you? Okay. Okay, so all right, so those are okay. So I'm gonna show you guys the decks I'm using in a minute. Where's the other one? Okay, for oracle cards, if I can find the oracle cards. If I can find them. You know what? I'm going to just use the Goddess Oracle for now. Actually, no. This is bothering me. I'm going to try and find the other Oracle deck. Hang on. Let's see what we can get here. Sorry, everyone. The deck was it. You see, I've got so many decks I can't keep track. I'm going to go with the Goddess Oracle deck, all right? So let's go with that one. Let's see what we've got here for everybody. Who is the real you? Number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and we've got this one for you. This one for you. Fantastic. Okay, so before I begin, the decks that I've used today are the Angels of Abundance. Oh, there's the fucking... Oh, I hate this so much. You know what? This is what I'm going to do. Put another tarot card, put another bunch of tarot cards down. And then put the Mary Magdalene on there. Okay. Okay. There we go. So now the cards are selected. All the cards are selected, all right? So what I'm going to do for you is let you know which decks that I'm using today. So for the tarot decks, I am using the Dragon Tarot by Nigel Suckling. I love this deck. Okay, I love this deck. Dragon Tarot deck by Nigel Suckling. I am using the Animal Tarot deck. Yes, I'm using the Animal Tarot deck by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. I am using the Sugar Skull Tarot deck by David A. Ross. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. Those are the cards that I'm using. And I am also using the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue, right here. I am using the Dragon Oracle cards. You can't see it because the boxes, I use this box a lot. Dragon Oracle cards by Diane Cooper. You can't see it. Sorry about that. And I am using the Magdalene Oracle book by Tony Carmine Salerno. I've been using this one for years. So let's see what we can get for you guys. Now this is the exciting part. This is the part that I know that I am looking forward to. Okay. Get this organized and then we'll get started. Move this to one side for now. So I can concentrate on the reading. So I've already done a taster reading for everybody, an overall message for everybody. So now what I want you guys to do is to pick an object, all right, from the piles. So this will be pile 1. This is a peacock stone. That's pile 1. If you resonate with that, go with it. Okay. Number 2 is this triangle right here. From She Elixirs. This triangle right here. If it resonates, go ahead and choose it. That's number 2. Number 3. Who truly are you? You're going to go with the rose quartz. Is this you? Stone of love. Is this you? And now we've got the amethyst right here. That's pile 4. Once again, when it comes to the selection, don't think too much. Just go with your gut. I'm going to start with pile 1 first. So let's move these ones out the way. pile one. See what I can get for you. Who are you truly? If you pick this stone, there's a distinct need to feel safe and secure. There are things that you want to happen in your life, but you want to feel like you're safe, or you want to feel like you're protected, you want to feel like you're cared for. And it's hard for you to feel that even when you are being loved, protected and cared for. That's what I see for some pile one people. Whoever you are, you like things simple. You don't like things complicated. You like things simple. You like things that are just gonna not flow easily, but like you don't like to have too much piled on in terms of possessions, in terms of people, in terms of like it's just overwhelming. I can relate. Okay. Oh my goodness. You see you see this? Just as I say that, what do I get? Declutter. You know what? Let me just continue. I'm going to read the tarot cards first to find out who you truly are. And then I'm going to read the oracle cards, okay? So first of all, I'm starting from the smallest tarot card first. I'm going to start with the Knight of Wands. I feel like what I talked about earlier was the inner part of you. The outer part is quite dynamic, quite passionate. You go for what you want and you go for what you want without hesitation. The only thing that I would say about you is that sometimes you can go for what you want and not think about why you want it. And truth be told, that's what a lot of human beings do. A lot of us think about what we want, why, rather than why we want it, because we live in a world that is focused on action and success. Not inherently a bad thing, but when it gets in the way of you understanding your own motivations, that's when it becomes kind of a problem. Okay? We've got the King of Winter. Intelligent, impartial, respected, unemotional. At this time, it's very important that you communicate clearly, be objective and unemotional, and act as professionally as possible. If you need advice, seek out the most experienced expert you can find. I coined a phrase earlier called stoic selfishness. Right now, pile one, you might be looking up to somebody who seems to have their life together, who seems really intelligent, who seems really put together, but truth be told, they're just stoic and selfish. Again, not inherently a bad thing, but it's something that you can easily manage as well, because the thing with this person is that they know who they are and what they want. And when they stand by that, regardless of what anyone else says, they can come across as very cold and very unfeeling. This person is not cold and unfeeling. They just come across that way because they've chosen to prioritize themselves rather than prioritize what the world wants or what the world believes they need to be. Do you understand what I mean? They've chosen to prioritize themselves, and that's why they come across the way that they come across. But there's a lot of confusion within you, pile one. And I'm glad I got this card, because this is a Purva Bhadrapada card. This card is associated with both Aquarius and Pisces. So this is a PB card. This is a card of rich emotion. This is a card of deep-seated belief. And it's also a card of ambivalence. It's not indifference. This is not an indifferent kind of card. Like I said before, you're looking up to people who are stoically selfish because they've already chosen their path and they're sticking to it. Whereas you are torn between two very compelling paths. Both of them are strong in their insistence that you join them. But it's because of that strength and it's because of your emotional connection to both sides that you find it hard to choose. Something is telling me that you need to go down the middle path. Remember, the Purva Bhadrapada full moon, this full moon is partially about walking your own line, and it's about going down the path least trodden. I don't think you need to pick either side. Two roads diverge. Just go straight. Just go straight. There's no point. There's no point in picking either side because it's driving you nuts, some of you. You don't need to choose either side. Just go straight down the road. Especially if you have femme energy. You're looking up to masculine energy that chooses one or the other. Duality is actually inherently masculine. It's not inherently feminine. Because there's two types of duality. There's lunar duality and then there's Jupiterian duality. Lunar duality is not even duality. It's a cycle. The journey from light to dark within femininity is not a two-sided affair like patriarchy likes to believe. It's not a two-sided affair. The journey from light to dark into light again, in terms of feminine energy, is cyclical. It's not linear. It's not two sides of the same coin. Do you understand? Okay, let me use an example, right? It's a coin. It's a coin. It's got light and shadow in it. And depending on which way you turn it, you see that shit? Depending on which way you turn it, it can either be light or dark. So we're talking about sensitivity to environment, sensitivity to the kind of people we're hanging around, and how that affects one's hormones, especially feminine hormones. So feminine energy is not and was never meant to be light or dark. It was always meant to be light, then dark, then light, then dark, then light, then dark, depending on circumstance, depending on who's around, depending on what time of the month it is. And even when they don't have a time of the month, depending on the cycles of nature still. That's what feminine energy is. It's the cycles of nature. Like light and dark is a cyclical affair. It is not one side, the other side. But with Jupiter, with masculine energy, you know, one of the planets that I associate with masculine energy and refined masculine energy, that does have duality. Because men, masculine energy, not necessarily men, but masculine energy, find it very difficult to focus on more than one thing at a time. Masculine energy has not only boldness and strength of will and strength of desire, but they also have strength of focus. Their energies are less holistic and more segregated. They have more segregated energy and more systemic energy, which means that they're able to compartmentalize things and they're able to focus on one compartment at a time. That's what masculine energy is able to do. Masculine energy is hyper-focused. That's why the duality within Jupiter, it makes sense that that Purva Bhadrapada especially, and that Jupiter is associated with duality, because you're talking about the path that a man walks down. That a man walks down, or that a masculine energy walks down. You're talking about, does masculine go with light or dark? And it's the masculine energy that has to pick one. I'm sensing that for a lot of people that I'm reading for, you have strong feminine energy. And you're feeling like, because this card is associated with both Aquarius and Pisces, that you have to choose between, being emotionally detached but wanting to do the best for humanity, to being, spiritually in love or having a marriage to spirituality. It's like you're feeling like you have to choose between the two, and it's like, no, you don't. If you have feminine energy, pay attention to the moon. The moon is cyclical. You don't have to choose light or dark. It's about timing. You feel me? It's about timing. So the real you is cyclical. It moves in cycles. It moves in waves. Stop looking to have just one path and one path only. That's patriarchal thinking. That's the thinking of a world that is not centered on nature, but instead it's centered on conquering it. And that's not where you belong, Pile One. I'm going to be real with you. That's not where you belong. Okay? Now we've got the Three of Wands. Some good news at last. The Three of Wands. There are many of you who have passions and, you know, there are things that you want to do in life. And I feel like the people that I'm reading for are quite optimistic people. And maybe you have good reason to be optimistic. But you need to actually implement what you believe will happen. You got to put your money where your mouth is, baby. You've got to put your money where your mouth is. You can't be out here, you know, saying, oh, I believe this is going to happen. And then you're not putting any mundane work towards it. Magical thinking is freaking awesome. I'm not going to hold you with this. It's awesome. But it's also redundant if you're not putting the work behind it. And some of you, even though you're focusing on your passions and you're doing wonderfully, you're not taking your passions to the next level. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And that's what leads me to the Oracle cards now, Pile One. So let's see what we've got for you. We have got for you the Green Gold Dragon from Sirius. Brings universal knowledge to your spiritual pathway. Learn about spiritual technology. Be a transmitter of sacred knowledge. If you're confused about what spiritual technology is, this is my assessment of it from what I've read. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, if you've picked Pile One. But spiritual technology, from my understanding, is something like Reiki healing, is something like Feng Shui, anything that involves working with the planet's geographical locations or energy points in order to promote harmony within yourself and your life. So I feel like that's what spiritual technology actually is. If you can correct me in the comments. That's what I've read. That's what I've looked at. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And connecting with spiritual technology in that way, it would make you a transmitter of sacred knowledge. As I did say within the moon, you have a lot of rich emotion and rich imagination in you. I might not have brought up the imagination part, but your imagination and your visualizations can be a conduit to reveal prophecies through creative ideas or through the work that you do. Yeah? So that's something to bear in mind. You have a rich resource of imagination, but it's there for a reason. The important thing to pay attention to when you have dreams or when you have creative ideas is not to focus on the text of what you're seeing, meaning like the obvious symbolism of what you're seeing. Focus on the subtext. So instead of looking at what you write and focusing on what you're actually writing, really pay attention to the subtext of what you're writing or what you're creating or what you're doing. Pay attention to the subtext. When it comes to any dreams that you might have or any visualizations you might have, instead of paying attention to what you're actually daydreaming about or what you're visualizing about or what you're dreaming about in your sleep, focus on the mood that you're in when you're visualizing these things, because they will reveal a lot about how you want to feel and how you expect to feel. So it allows you to work backwards and think to yourself, okay, how do I want to feel? Okay, well, I'm going to use my imagination to channel what I believe would make me feel this way, right? And you can work it that way around, but then you could also go backwards and be like, okay, how am I feeling? You know, how am I feeling during this visualization? And based on that feeling, or based on what that symbology means to me, what am I predicting or what am I foreseeing? Like, this is incredibly powerful energy for this full moon, but I feel like you could use it throughout your life. You could use it to prophesize. You could use it to, you know, to bring new awakenings within yourself and other people. This is a very powerful time that you're under, even though this is a timeless reading technically. But yeah, you need to use your power more. You need to use your imagination. Now I'm going to come back to the declutter thing. Okay. I'm going to come back to that because I talked before about you being overwhelmed, too easily overwhelmed by too many things, too many people, too many possessions, too many this, too many that. Sometimes you can find yourself overwhelmed and, you know, you just need space from too many things, too many people, or too much stimulus. And as soon as I said that, I didn't even mean to pick that. I got this. I got the declutter card. It says, you'll feel better and more focused if you take the time to clear away clutter from your living and workspace. Donate what you can to help others who may need your items. Be sure to keep your schedule uncluttered as well. Yeah, just trimming the fat, mate. Like, when it comes to your possessions, when it comes to your schedule, trimming the fat is going to be very, very important. It's going to be very, very important for you to trim the fat in that case. Yeah. So yeah, decluttering is going to be important. And I swear to God, man, I don't mean to do this. Like, I was just talking about this. So we've got Maeve. Let me have a look at her, because you know, I don't get her very often. So let me look her up and see what she's saying. Let me see where the book is. Where the book there? Okay. So Maeve. Okay. So let me see who Maeve is first of all, and then I'll get into all the other stuff. Okay, so Maeve is a Celtic goddess. Makes sense. That's a Celtic name. Maeve celebrates her femininity. Her sexual appetite is legendary, and she's been said to favor kings as her lovers. Sounds lit. Legend says that Maeve invoked labor pains on an army seeking to invade her land, and that she demanded that the battle cease during her menstrual cycle. Call upon Maeve for relief from pain associated with feminine cycles, including menstruation, labor and delivery, and menopause. So yes, I did talk about this before. You need to honor, you need to get in touch with nature more. That's first off. Second of all, you need to honor your own circadian rhythms here. Okay? You need to honor your own circadian rhythms, physically, emotionally, mentally, and stop putting yourself in a binary, because that's not who you are. Who you are is a passionate, cyclical human being that just needs to release their energy at just the right time in order to manifest what they truly want in life. And that's it. That's all you need to do, my girl or my guy, whoever you are. It's mostly women that are interested in this stuff, but if you're a man, welcome. Your energy is cyclical. Okay? Now, love. Yeah, I've talked about this before. I said this for everybody, but this relates to you most of all. Love is going to be the thing that grounds you. Love is going to be the thing that connects you to nature and yourself. I think what you're craving right now is love and attention. And I feel like, you know, I think you believe that if you become more stoic and you become more don't give a damn, don't give a toss, that you might get more attention. You're right. You're right. You're right in believing that you being more stoic and you being more detached and you being more selfish will actually get you more attention. You're right in thinking that. But you need to understand that more attention is not the same as quality relationships. And that is what you need. And truth be told, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that those who picked this deck, you might already be getting some quality love in your life and taking it for granted. I'm just going to put it out there. But let's see from the booklet. Yeah. I'll just put it out there. Oh, this is nice. A beautiful relationship will soon develop. This relationship will continue to grow for many years to come, and endless blessings will stem from it. Appreciate and savor each moment together, and always keep the flame of love alight in your heart. For love is a magnet. You cannot help but attract love when you have love in your heart. If you're already in a meaningful relationship, then your relationship will deepen, provided you are always open with each other and receptive to one another's needs. Always express any insecurity you have with your partner, and you'll find that your relationship continues to strengthen. Okay, so that definition was a bit dramatic, but I do think you need to prioritize love. And I feel like you have more love in your life, more genuine love, rather than just attention. You have more genuine love in your life than you think you do. And it's time you appreciated it and you showed it the respect and the deference that it deserves. Okay? That will reawaken your passion. That will show respect for your circadian rhythm, and also get out into nature as well. That will also help you. Okay? So that was for pile 1. Okay? It was my pleasure to read for you, and I am now going to move on. Peace and blessings. Bye bye, my darlings. Okay, if you pick this pyramid right here, from She Elixirs, pile 2, this is for you. Okay, I'm going to start with the tarot first, and then I'm going to go into the oracle cards. But first, let me look in the ball and see what we've got for you. I'm not going to lie to you, I got a brief glimpse of the cards, and I'm trying not to let that cloud my judgment. Let me do some further cleansing. Hang on a sec. Hang on a sec. I'm just cleansing my crystal ball. Just cleansing it. Pile 2. I feel like you can be a bit intimidating. Not necessarily like in a bad way. I know I can intimidate people sometimes. But I feel like you intimidate people, not because you're aggressive, because a lot of you pile 2, you're not aggressive people. You're not aggressive people, and you don't kick off at the slightest provocation, but you do stand your ground, and you do have integrity, and you do have a sense of a very strong and powerful sense of self. It makes other people feel intimidated. Now, I want to sit here and say that that's a them issue and not a you issue. But there are times where your integrity is fantastic, and there are times where maybe you might take it too far. And I'm not talking about taking it too far as in how other people feel. I'm talking about taking it too far as in how it does or does not benefit you. Because that's the main question to ask here. Does what you're doing benefit you in the long run? So, in order to be less selfish and less intimidating and less stubborn, you might have to be a bit more selfish and think, what am I doing? How does that serve my interest? And if it doesn't serve your interest, find a new course of action. But yes, you're a strong person. You have a lot of character. You have a lot of, yeah, you don't bend easily. You don't bend easily. All right. But let me see. Oh, this is interesting. So I'm going to start with the smallest tarot card first and see what we can get here. All right. First of all, we've got the Nine of Pentacles. Listen, successful self-sufficiency. Okay. Pile 2, some of you have been going it alone. Some of you have been paying attention to September's energies and you've been going it alone, and it's been working. It's really been paying off for you in ways that you didn't even expect it to pay off. All you did was you decided to stand alone, do your thing, but it paid off in more ways than you anticipated, and now you're enjoying the fruits of your labor. But something tells me, Pile 2, that this is just the beginning of your rewards, that there's more to come. There are more rewards to come. Okay, when it comes to your individuated path. We've got the Five of Spring now. Yes, it's just like I was talking about before. You do have the tendency to be kind of stubborn. Okay, it says occasionally you may experience clashes with others. If you decide the matter is worth your energy, then do what you can to minimize the conflict without sacrificing your goals or beliefs. You see, the people you can end up at odds with, the people who are intimidated by you, you do not despise them, and they don't despise you. There is no ill will here whatsoever. It's just that everybody is sticking to their guns. That's all that's happening. But in the meantime, there is no hatred, there is no malice, there is no ill will, nothing like that. It's just that everybody's in their individual corners and they're refusing to come out because they believe it might do something for them. And in your case, you're right. And again, there's a lot more blessings to come because of your actions and because of your independence. There's a lot more blessings to come. So I can't even say that your independent streak is costing you, because it's not. I can't even say that. Now we come to the Devil card. Now let's see what I can get from this. I'm going to come back to this because what this does, I'm going to talk about what this does. What this does is it removes negative frequencies from your body, or it purifies it. There's a specific way in which it is engineered, in which energy comes up from the top. Bigger pyramids of this nature are usually more powerful. But yes, it emits pure ether from the top, and it affects your frequency from there when it goes into your auric field. And I feel like in much the same way, in choosing to be more independent, you are purifying negative energies from your life, or that's what you're attempting to do. So you're following your logic here. This card doesn't just talk about the will of man or enslavement to the material realm. It also talks about logic. It also talks about understanding fate properly. And I feel like you do. I feel like you're very much in touch with fate. You're very much in touch with the microcosm. You're very much in touch with how the earthly realm works. So instead of trying to kid yourself that you can transform things or turn things around by being in other people's presence, you're like, no, I know I'm not going to turn this around. So I'm going to make sure that I can get what I can get for myself. And again, it's led to material abundance that's going to continue to keep coming for you. So as much as I've told you that you need to be less stubborn, and you do need to be less stubborn, I'm not going to lie to you. This behavior has been paying off for you materially. But of course, materially is not the only thing that counts. With this right here, this is where it gets interesting. Because not only are you willing to be honest about what you think, you're willing to be honest about yourself as well. So you're not lacking in self-awareness. That's a part of this as well. You're not lacking in any self-awareness. You understand exactly what you need to do. And it's not like you're not going to do it. You are going to do it, but just in your own time. if I was to advise you of something, Spirit is going to speak to you over the next few weeks. And when Spirit gives you opportunities, you need to pay attention to what Spirit tells you. You need to pay attention to what Spirit tells you. And you need to, you know, really take note of what is expected of you, or what you're expected to do. Really take note of that and take it seriously, and honor your word as well, because that's going to be important. Okay, so you're doing pretty well on your own. You're doing pretty well. Like there's a lot of this keeps popping out. You're doing very well on your own, but Spirit's timing is now when it comes to changing things. Okay, now we got the black dragon from Saturn. Brings you wisdom through spiritual discipline. Concentrate, focus on your ultimate vision. Congratulate yourself, you have passed the test. Oh baby, you've passed it big time. You've passed it big time. So yes, you have a lot to be proud of. You have a lot to be proud of. And all this concentration and focusing on your ultimate vision, you've been doing that. Now you need to just have, this is the part that nobody tells you. When it comes to your desires, you have to show complete selflessness to your desires. In order for it to take an evolutionary form, you have to show complete selflessness to your desires. You have to give yourself over to them. And I'm not talking about, you know, giving yourself to addictions and vices. I'm talking about your long-term vision here. You know, we don't get something for nothing. And if you want something in life that you really want to accomplish, you have to give yourself to it fully. You have to, you know, in the words of that director lady from Maxine, you've got to make it your obsession. So that has to come first, even before your independent nature, even before your independent streak. Your ultimate vision for your life, it has to come before everything else. Even your need to feel comfortable, even your need to be self-reliant. Okay, and we've got here cooperation instead of competition. What's yours is yours, and no one can take it away from you. There's no need to compete, as there is an abundance for all. You have complete access to unlimited abundance for yourself and to share with others. With cooperative partnerships, you can accomplish anything. Again, when I saw the 5 of Wands, or the 5 of Spring, right? I did not see malice. I did not see hatred. I didn't even see competition. I just saw people in their own individual corners doing their own thing, not wanting to be bothered. And I feel like because that's the foundation we're standing on, you may find that cooperating with other people when asked to do so comes more easily than you think. Okay? And we've got white Tara, sensitivity. You are becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, situations, and chemicals. So you should cooperate with people. You just shouldn't cooperate with people who are going to bring harsh energy to the table. You know, you're right to kind of distance yourself from anything or anyone that doesn't bring you peace. But separating yourself from the world completely is not the move. It's not the move. And I say that as a proud homebody. Okay. Let's see about white Tara. Oh, it's Tara. Tara. Oh, Tara. Okay. White Tara is an aspect of Tara, a female Buddha and Hindu mother creator. The many female faces of the Buddha and Mother Creator are represented as various colors of Tara. White Tara represents purity, maturity, and compassion. The eyes on her hands, feet, and forehead allow her to be aware of all prayers. She helps us to live long and peaceful lives, yeah. So, yeah. Gentle energies only. Cooperate, come together with other people, but gentle energies only. You've got the right idea. You just need to work on your approach. And when it comes to perception, I'm going to read from the booklet. Yeah, perception. Oh, opened right up. Beware. Someone you are attracted to has a tendency to use others to fill their own void. To some extent, this is true of most relationships. However, in this particular case, the void wanting to be filled is insatiable. Nothing you say or do will ever be enough, so tread carefully. Don't allow yourself to be drawn into other people's problems. All is not the way it is presented. Use your intuition and trust your natural instincts. In spite of its problems, a valuable lesson will be derived from this relationship as you realize that we are each responsible for our own well-being. Taking on another's emotional baggage is of no help to anyone, so remain emotionally detached and use your sixth sense. And your motives are like, it's all in here. Your motives are all here. Because you've been dealing with needy ass people. You've been dealing with people who want your company but don't listen to you. You've been dealing with people who want your skills but don't listen to you. So in your case, you are intent to go where you're valued. That's what you're intent on doing. You're intent on going where you're valued. And you've, baby, pile 2. Baby, you've got the right idea. You have completely got the right idea. You just have the wrong approach here. Don't cut yourself off from life completely. Follow the gentleness. The gentleness is the key to your magic. Once you follow the gentleness and ingratiate yourself with gentle people who are doing the same thing you're doing, that's when your life will start to lift itself up. And also be careful of one person who seems to be just attracting a whole bunch of drama to them. Whether you know it or not, they're attempting to siphon off your energy. Now, luckily for you, you're very detached as a person. So if there's somebody in your life trying to siphon off your energy with their drama, luckily for you, you are not as emotionally connected as you could be to that person. But make sure you maintain that emotional distance is what I'm saying. Even physical distance a little bit. Sorry, pile 2. Where's pile 2's? Got a triangle. I got a triangle in your hand. You got a triangle in your hand. Got a triangle in your hand. Pile 2. So that was for you. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Peace and blessings to you guys, my independent free spirits. I love you guys. Take care. Bye bye. Okay, I'm looking at the cards again. I should not be looking at the fucking cards. Pile 3. If you chose the rose quartz, my beautiful, oh, you want love so bad. You want love bad. But yes, you're gravitating towards this because you want love. It doesn't have to be romantic. It doesn't have to be with another person, but there's something that craves softness, that craves tenderness. Let's have a look at what's going on for you. You know what? This could do with another cleansing. I'm not going to burn anything this time because my lungs, I've really got to take care of my lungs. So, where's me spray? Where's me spray? Okay. My spray is here. find something to wipe it with. We'll be right back. Don't start without me. Pile 3. Oh, just looking for something to wipe it down with, babes. There we go. Whew. Got it, babes. Okay, pile 3. What a perfect color. Beautiful, beautiful color. This is also a perfect representation of the love that you're searching for, the love that you're looking for. I'm looking into this beautiful ball right now. I'm looking into this beautiful ball right now, this beautiful seeing stone, and I'm seeing wounds. I'm seeing a lot of pain. You're not angry, you're just a bit sad. I know, I've been there. I think I've said that for all the readings so far. I think I'm going to resonate with everybody on some level. But yes, pain is what I see. You're not angry. You've learned a lot along the way. You've met great people. You don't regret. You know, there's a lot that you don't regret. Even though you've been through so many painful experiences, regret is not something that you have. And I think that makes you a very strong person, pile 3. You know, a lot of us have regrets. I have regrets. You know, but you don't seem to. If this is your pile is this, you don't seem to have any regrets at all. Right now, all you're seeing is what you want. And what you want is more love, more tenderness in your life. That's all you want. Okay? Let's see what we can get for your tarot reading, okay? All right, baby. So we've got the 10 of Swords. If you chose pile 3, you're at the tail end of a really, really intense emotional journey. And the true you is not somebody who's angry or bitter. It's like when life beats you up like this, you become somebody who's very accepting of their own emotions. And it led me really nicely onto this. When life gives you a bit of a beating, you become somebody who's resourceful, you become pragmatic, but you're pragmatic and resourceful without the bitterness. Instead of thinking that life is simply duty and having that make you miserable and cantankerous and judgmental, instead, this makes you optimistic and hopeful because you're taking from the status quo things that you actually enjoy. I've always said that the Queen of Pentacles, or the Queen of Autumn in this case, is pleasure in duty. It's in the duties of the status quo that feel almost like a game, almost like something to enjoy, something to, you take pleasure in. And you don't see any problem with that. And honestly, it kind of makes you a delight to be around. Like pile 3, it makes you a delight to be around. Like, life's really gotten you down, but baby, you got back up with the quickness. Life got you down, but you got back up with the quickness. On some real stuff now. Let's see for the Queen of Autumn. We've got thoughtful, caring, creative, and ingenious. You will be given advice that's both practical and creative, and it should be followed precisely. Focus only upon the positive in every situation or person. yes, I did talk about that optimism that you have. And I also believe that you are talking to or having conversations with Queen of Autumn types that are just slightly above you, that have learned to make the most of their situations in ways that you haven't yet. And instead of taking their words personally, when they find that you have faults or they find that you need to improve in something, instead you're taking that lesson on board and you're saying to yourself, okay, well, I need to improve this. I need to make this a part of what I do. So you're taking advice. You're taking advice. You are showing thoughtfulness and care yourself. You're showing creativity and ingenuity yourself. But you're also taking lessons and inspiration from people who are slightly more successful than you in where you want to be. So I don't know, man. Like life has dealt you a bad hand, but somehow you've just, I almost envy you. I don't know how you've done it. You've just turned it around and you've become someone incredible. Someone that even you have to give props to. Even you have to give props to yourself. That's how undeniable this is. Okay. Now we've got the Death card here. Now, luckily, this is not foretelling of death. Thank fuck for that. This is not foretelling of anything. Instead, this reveals you to be a transformational person. Okay? Now, the past used to be something that was heavy for you. It used to be a prominent feature in your life. But you're letting that go. You are releasing that energy. You're releasing the past from your life in a way that makes you feel empowered. But I think the one thing that you never really wanted is you never really wanted to hide from the past or hide who you were. It's easy to look at the worst parts of ourselves and think that that's our real selves, but in actuality, it's not. Like I said, when it comes to personality, light and dark is not a binary, it's a cycle. We all have moments of our light and dark just swirling around and dependent on circumstance, just like I said in another pile, I won't say which one it is, but it's just like it's a cyclical thing. It's just, yeah, it's cyclical. It's not binary. And I feel that you have transformed yourself into a cyclical thinking person, a person of circadian rhythm, rather than being a binary person now. I feel like you know how to use all the shadows and the light of who you are to your advantage. And I feel like you've really turned a corner in terms of how you meet your challenges in life. And that brings me nicely onto this. I'm going to be honest with you, pile 3. I feel like you will create your own slice of heaven at some point. That will be a reflection of your unmoving and unchangeable spiritual purity. I think, yeah, this connects with this. Because you're taking part in duties that you find pleasure in, you're going to create your own slice of heaven. You're going to create your own slice of heaven, and you're going to want to share it with people. That's where the love comes in. But you're going to, pile 3. You have to share it with the right people. Okay? Got to share it with the right ones. So, let's see what oracle cards we can get for you, my darlings, all right? Okay, let's see. Oh. Now, I already looked at these, but I'm looking at these more closely. So just bear with me here. It says, unlimited ideas. Your mind is one with God's infinite mind. Therefore, you have complete access to unlimited ideas guaranteed to bring blessings. All you need to do is to take divinely guided action to allow these ideas to come to fruition. Interesting. Okay, so you got a rich little imagination up here. It's like your imagination is having like a slow release instead of like being released all at once, because like I kind of get a jack of all trades, master of none sort of thing. So it's like your imagination is getting a slow release. It's being released into different areas of your life and into different talents or skills that you might have, rather than being released all at once into one particular thing. And I feel like that's how you end up creating your own slice of heaven. Because if your creativity and your imagination is being slowly released like this and dispersed across different skills, different talents, and different situations, then really what you're doing is you're creating your own piece of heaven right in front of you, and you don't even realize you're doing it. A lot of people think that being a jack of all trades and master of none is a bad thing, but listen to the full saying. It's better to be a jack of all trades and a master of none than to be a master of one. Because you're a jack of all trades and you're slowly but surely developing excellence and expression in those skills and gifts, you're world building, and you don't even realize you're doing it. You don't even realize you're doing it. You're world building and you're completely unaware you're doing it. But this is exactly what happens when you allow yourself to allow yourself a slow release rather than rushing yourself to be something that you're not. So that's who you truly are. You're a person who slowly releases their imagination, slowly releases, slow release. And it's like, yeah, that's exactly what that is. So there's that. Okay, let's see what else we can get. So we've got pure white dragon from Orion. Transforms your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Process what you know. Act with truth and honesty. Let your wings of light grow and expand. Now, I'm going to be slightly naughty because this was the card that I originally got for you. And because it was revealed to everybody, I applied it to everyone because I believe there was a genuine message in there for everybody. But it's also for you. Okay? So what this is saying is proceed with truth and honesty, meaning don't be afraid to be who you are. Everybody wants to rush you in becoming a master of one. Fuck that. You know exactly what you're doing. You are creating heaven where you stand. And if the people in your life were smart enough, they'd watch you work and they'd be silent. Okay? But also, with this, good fortune is coming. Let your thoughts support your divine perfection. Align with your fifth dimensional blueprint. Brings in healing and cosmic abundance. I talked about this in my reading for everybody, my short reading for everybody. I told everybody that they need to embody this energy, but you are already embodying it. Again, life has battered you, but instead of crushing you, it turned you into a diamond, like genuinely. So act with truth and honesty. Process what you know. Let your wings of light grow and expand. You're doing that. And it's like, but other people want it to be in a way that looks acceptable to society. Again, fuck all that. You know exactly what you're doing. Okay? Now, I love this for you. I'm sorry. Vesta home. Okay. Your household situation is improving either through a move or a healthy change in the occupants. Oh my goodness. The Queen of Autumn is also associated with the home, right? Hang on a sec. Okay, so let me have a look at Vesta. Vesta is the Roman goddess of home and hearth. Vesta is a fire goddess who brings warmth to households, both as a temperature and as an emotion. In ancient Rome, a temple in her honor bore a flame that burned continually. Call upon Vesta to oversee any changes you'd like to make in your living situation. Again, you're creating a piece of heaven where you stand. And I don't know if you're going to move. This is not clear. But what is clear is that wherever you end up, you're creating a little piece of heaven with you. And it doesn't matter whether you move or not, whether you stay in the same place. It's going to continue on that way. You will continue to create heaven wherever you are. Keep doing it. Just keep doing it. The improvements in your living situation, I'm going to be real with you, Pile 3. The improvement in your living situation, any improvement in your living situation, any improvement in your home is because of you. I'm going to be real about the situation. Any improvements going on in your home is because of you. Again, this is why you want love. It's not like you don't have it in your life. But you're thinking to yourself, if I'm creating a little piece of heaven for myself, why am I not sharing it? Why do I not have anybody to share it with? You will. You will. Okay? But this is interesting though, because this kind of brings the energy down a little bit. Not quite as low as this, but like, yeah, like it brings us back to earth a little bit. Hold on a second. Okay, we've got Saint and Sinner. This is interesting, because I thought this was about duality and the fact that you're rejecting it, and you're not like, ironically, you're no longer splitting yourself into a saint-sinner binary, and that's why you're kind of achieving some level of heaven or bliss in your life. But let's see the meaning of this. The assumptions you are making about another person or event could turn out to be completely wrong. Realize that for every theory, there is a contradicting and opposing one. There may be more to this situation than first meets the eye. You're being advised to keep an open mind and heart. All is not necessarily the way it seems. Remember also that often the judgments we make about others are also judgments we make about ourselves. You will not find peace and fulfillment while holding an I'm right and they're wrong attitude. Accept that there is no single truth that applies universally, and things will become clearer. You will get the love that you're looking for to share your heaven with. But this person that you're going to invite into your life, and it's not even this person romantically, it could be these people friendship wise, this person romantically. The people that you're going to invite into your life are going to be very blunt, and they're going to be very honest with you about your shortcomings. And it's not necessarily that they're right, because sometimes when they talk, they might not be right about your shortcomings at all. But you're not going to know whether they're right or not if you don't properly listen to what they're really saying, because sometimes people can talk and what they say is not really what they're saying. Do you understand what I mean? You have to pay attention to the subtext beneath their words. And I know what people are going to say. It's not always a subtext. Not everything is that deep. Yes, it is, bitch. Yes, it is. Unless you're the type of person to say exactly what's on their mind, there is usually going to be a subtext when somebody's talking to you. There's usually going to be something beneath what they say. So when this person is blunt with you, instead of taking offense, listen to the tone of their voice, observe their body language, and observe what triggered what they're about to say. Look at the non-verbal cues in order to decipher what they're really saying to you, because it might seem like they're criticizing when really they're proud of you and they want to see where you can go next, what you can take, how much further you can take this heaven that you've created for yourself. They want to see how much further you can go. Sometimes criticism is not really criticism. It's because they love what you've done and they want to see how far you can take it. Sometimes a compliment is not always a compliment. Sometimes it can be a backhanded thing where people notice what you have and think that you don't deserve to have it. Oh, you're so lucky you have this. You're so lucky. You're so lucky. Oh, you're so lucky. Not everybody who says you're lucky means you're undeserving. Some people just say you're lucky because they think you're fortunate to have that, and they think it takes fortune to have that. But then there are some people who say you're lucky as in, you don't deserve this shit. How did you get it? You know, so you have to pay attention to how you feel when they say it. Again, the tone of voice, the situation, the event that triggered it off, all of these things. You've got to watch all of these things when people say something. So when people are talking, you have to observe twice, listen twice, speak once. That's how you have to handle it. Because the people coming into your life are going to have absolutely no tact at all. None. The love is coming. The love is coming. But it is loud. And it is harsh. And and they're just going to be like, yo, what is this? And you don't have to take it. You don't have to take it. If it gets to the point where it is completely rude, you have the right to say, actually, no, this is not acceptable behavior. You have the right to say that, but also be more observant than reactive as well, because there's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on there. But that love that you're looking for, yes, that's on the way. And truth be told, I swear to God, these blunt, honest people coming into your life, the level of devotion is crazy. You know, that's the thing about some people. Some people will give you the shirt off their back, but will cuss you out while they're doing it. It's not good behavior, but it's how some human beings are, pile 3. That's just how it is. Hold on, pile 3. Yep, that's it for you. So that was for you, pile 3. Love is coming. Don't worry about it, baby. And the true you is somebody that is able to take really crappy situations and turn it into your own personal heaven. And I love that for you. Please keep going. Please keep doing what you're doing. You are doing tremendous work in your own life. Okay? So that was it, pile 3. Peace and blessings. Love you guys so much. Bye-bye, my darlings. Pile 4 now. If you chose the Amethyst, if you chose the Amethyst, pile 4, it's got a piece of candle in it. I've tried to get it out. Don't watch that. If you've if you've chosen Amethyst and candle wax, you have chosen pile 4. Okay. It seems like you're more logically minded. Either you're more logically minded, or you're taking a leap of faith and you're waiting on a sign that you're doing the right thing, or that you're engaging in the right thing. Like you're looking for a sign somewhere, you know. So I feel like the real you is somebody. Hang on, let me have a look at this seeing stone, see what I can get. Look at this palatine right here. I see families eating together. I see a family eating together. It feels like a very loving, calm and stable situation you find yourself in, pile 4. It feels very nice. But this is the thing, like, you're in such a cool environment, but it's like, you know, some of you feel like you could use a little bit of magic in your lives. Like you feel a bit unstimulated, some of you. Like No, it just feels really nice. Like there's a nice vibe. It's very calm. It's very relaxed. But it's like there's dissatisfaction underneath the surface. But it's not a lack of love. It's definitely not a lack of love or a lack of happiness. It's just a lack of excitement. And you got to iron that out. But yeah, things are going well. And I feel like you as a person, you do want magic in your life. You want more passion. You want more excitement, you know. I suggest you go out and get it. You don't want spirit to take over and give you that and make you regret your... Like, I suggest you take that into your own hands. Don't wait for spirit to do it for you, because if spirit does it for you, you're going to regret that shit. And you're going to be like, no, I didn't want that at all. No. You got to go out and get that excitement for yourself. Okay? In healthy ways as well. No nonsense. No unlawful nonsense either. You've got to make sure that you're living your best life. You've got to do that for yourself. But the snapshot that I'm getting of you as a person, you're not averse to doing it yourself at all. So we've got the Ace of Cups. If you're powerful, you're quite a gentle soul. You're strong, but you're gentle. And it's like you've experienced moments of bliss before. You've experienced it before, and that's how you want your whole life to be. It's not that you don't want things to be settled. You just want a bit more fun and just a bit more magic and stuff. And with this, I feel like what's at the root of... Hang on, let me read this first and then I'll tell you what I find out. Bluebird, your plans will work out well, bringing you happiness, prosperity and success. You'll garner the recognition for your accomplishments you so richly deserve. I feel like you're feeling your lack of excitement down to your peers, because your peers seem to have lived more exciting lives than you. You've lived a simple life, a happy life, a life where you could actually pursue your joys without being interrupted or talked down or having naysayers on your back. You've been able to do that, but I feel like some of you have friends, or some of you have even have like romantic partnerships that are just like, it's boring. Like, you know, you feel boring next to these people, because these people are making up and breaking up. They're going out to parties, they're traveling, they're doing this, they're going to uni, they're going to college, doing this, that and the third. And it seems like all you're doing is stuff that you like doing. Some of you might even be making money from it. Like, it just feels like you're doing this simple thing that you just like doing, and you're not as exciting as your friends. So when your friends ask you, oh, what did you do? Oh, I just do the same thing that I always do. I do what I love to do. And, you know, some of you make money from it as well. So it's almost like you have nothing to talk about with them. But maybe you need to consider that your joys and your happiness and your bliss has translated into a work ethic that doesn't necessarily match theirs. Perhaps at this point, pile 4, you have a stronger work ethic than that of your friends. And the excitement that they have, can I be really honest with you and say that maybe it's not excitement that they have, maybe it's aimlessness. And maybe the only thing you really need is to just shake up your routine a little and you'll be fine. You know, again, like, you know, it's better that you're active in a small way than be active in a big way, and spirit has to take that shit over and remind you that this is not what you want. So if you want some variation to your routine, like, just start slow. Like have a different coffee every day or something, or have a different, you know, breakfast every day, or, you know, go out walking once in a while or something. Like, just like make slight changes to your routine rather than going the whole hog and wanting the whole experience of being aimless and making it look fun rather than actually having fun. because you actually have fun. This is the thing. You're actually blissful. You're actually happy. You're actually having fun. Your friends that you envy or that you wish you were more like, they're not having fun. They're not enjoying themselves. They're distracting themselves, and that's different. Okay. Now, the Ace of Swords, I feel like a loved one is going to tell you the truth. I feel like you have loved ones who are blunt and honest with you. And the reason why you've never had a problem with them is because you've always been that ray of sunshine, right? So I feel like when it comes to your work ethic and when it comes to how well you're doing, you're going to have people in your life who are honest with you and say, listen, you're cooking right now. It might not be a you problem. It might be a them problem, and you need to let them go. Okay. So you've got people in your life who are very honest with you, and you can be honest, but you're more honest in a loving and gentle sort of way than some of your loved ones. And the reason why your loved ones, this is the thing, I feel like you misunderstood your loved ones kind of, because you're thinking they're like you. You're thinking they're truthful in a loving way, you know, and that they're being gentle with you because, you know, they're being gentle with you. No, they're being gentle because of the energy that you bring to the table. They're being kind because of the energy that you bring to the table. You're coming along with gratefulness, with a strong work ethic, with, you know, you're grateful, you have a strong work ethic, you're doing what you love to do, you're even making money from it, some of you. So the people in your life, instead of giving you the dressing down that they could give you, they're just responding to what you bring them. They're responding to what you're giving them, and you're giving them light, you're giving them joy, you're giving them bliss. The same thing that you look for in your life is what you give them. That's why your loved ones are like that towards you. It's because of what you bring to the table. And this is where I have to tell you to tread cautiously, because we've got the Five of Swords here. I don't like this card. And the reason I don't like this card is because usually when you get this card, it means that people who are against you in their heart and in their minds as well as their actions. So I feel like there's one person in particular, someone in your family or someone in your friendship group, that is always waiting to trip you up, and they haven't been able to trip you up yet, and it's frustrating them. I feel like you know who it is as well. But the thing is that you want to give them a chance. You want to give them a chance to be better. I feel like you need to cut this person off because they're never going to get better. They're always going to be jealous. They're always going to be bad-minded. They're always going to be spiteful. Just let it go. Let it go. And the quicker you cut them off from your life, like, and you don't have to do it like cold turkey. You can like little bit. Just distance yourself from them little bit. You know, you don't have to go the whole hog in terms of distancing yourself from this person, but distance yourself from this person because they don't mean you any good. They're very jealous of what you have. In fact, it might be one of the friends that you envy. This person is kind of like a microcosm of all your friends. They're distracting themselves with lame shit. And because they're distracting themselves with lame shit and making it look good and dressing up in an aesthetic, because they're doing that, it makes you feel the way that they feel. They're projecting their envy onto you, actually, because they are aimless. They don't know what they're doing. They're just going through the motions and trying to get as much positive attention as they can. They're just going through the motions, whereas you're actually enjoying your life. They envy that. The same way they've projected their envy onto you, that's how they actually feel about you. And I feel like this person might be the leader of your friendship group. You got to let them go. You got to filter yourself out. And luckily, I feel like your work ethic is so deeply ingrained in you that you may distance yourself away from them without too much effort. Okay, but you need to let them go because they're not good for your life. So pile 4. That was intense. Let's move on to the oracle cards that we've got for you. Okay. What have we got here? Okay, so we've got the white gold dragon from Lyra. Connects you to the highest Christ light. Develop your causal chakra. Fucking hell. Develop your causal chakra. Bathe in ninth dimensional Christ light. This is the thing about this oracle deck, pile 4. It can be very vague. Okay. Now I got to look up this Lycran white gold dragon. God almighty. White gold dragon from Lycra. So yeah, these cards are very vague. Hold on. So where's the Lycran dragon? Okay, it's 98. Sorry, my eyes are going funny because they're a bit tired. Okay, so white gold dragon from Lycra connects you to the highest Christ light. Develop your causal chakra. Bathe in ninth dimensional Christ light. Archangel Christiel. Okay, so it's associated with Archangel Christiel. Yeah, causal chakra of humanity would be quite high up, wouldn't it? So basically, this card is telling you to embody unconditional love. I'm sure this isn't the only card that says that. But to be Christ-like is to be unconditionally loving, is to be non-judgmental, is to be forgiving of other people's sins. And I have a feeling that you're already like this. I feel like this card is just confirming that you need to continue to be that way, because you might find some things out about your Five of Swords friend that really test your patience. And you don't have to be around them, but showing forgiveness internally, it can help you move past their actions and their behavior. But again, because you're working so solidly on what you love to do, the fallout from their behavior might not touch you. Luckily, okay? So let's see what we've got here. It is safe for you to receive. The more you allow yourself to receive, the more resources you have available to share with others. Open your arms to receive and be a conduit for good coming to you and through you as it blesses the world. Yes, baby, you've got a lot of blessings coming. Blessings in love, blessings in friendship, because that toxic friend is going to find their way out and they're going to be replaced with better friends. So beautiful, loved, and content are going to be your 3 words, pile 4. Okay, you're going to find people who are truly on your wavelength, who truly understand you, and it's just going to be like a whole big ball of sun-like energy. And I love that for you. But it's not just people. You've also got material blessings coming, because you've kind of been in line with abundance. You've been in line with you know, an abundance mentality. So of course abundance is going to come back to you, because you've just been so high, you know, in your frequencies. You've just been so high in your positivity. That's going to come back right around to you, multiplied. So that's a really, really good thing. It's beautiful to see, pile 4. And because of that, pile 4, we have Freya. Bold. Unleash your adventurous side, take risks and be daring. Like I said, you can start small with small changes, but I suggest you start now. Again, spirit don't play when it comes to that. Start small. You know, if you want to make changes in your life, start small. And let me have a look about Freya. She's the Nordic earth goddess of fertility, celebration and passion. Freya rides in a chariot pulled by mighty cats across the rainbow bridge connecting heaven and earth. Unafraid of her sexual power, Freya teaches us to appreciate our attractiveness and to enjoy ourselves. No wonder then that the day of the week, Friday, was named in her honor, since this day is associated with the end of the work week and a time for celebration. So yeah, you should embrace excitement, but again, take it one day at a time and start with small changes first. Start with what makes you feel comfortable, and then kind of Branch out a little, branch out a little, branch out a little. Take it step by step, you know. Because I feel like you will have that excitement that you're looking for. But if you take the initiative now and take it step by step, rather than, you know, you just jumping in at the deep end, or spirit jumping you in at the deep end, yeah, just take it slow but steady. And you'll definitely get all the excitement you want and all the beauty and all the richness of life that you want. And you don't have to compromise your integrity or your work ethic to get it. You know, you don't have to compromise anything important to get it. Okay? You just have to get rid of that friend of yours. You know who it is. You know who it is. Powerful. You know who it is. Okay? Ascension. Okay, Powerful. Let's see what we've got for you. I see that you will level up in terms of your, in terms of your looks, in terms of your attractiveness, in terms of, I feel like you will level up, Powerful. You will. And when you do, it will bring even more blessings to you. And you will have that excitement you're looking for. But again, it will be tailored to you rather than you trying to be someone else. Okay? But let's see what we can get from Ascension right here. Trying to gain a higher spiritual state of awareness may feel like a long and slow process. Yet remember that a part of you exists always in a higher spiritual state. Higher consciousness is a knowing and wisdom far beyond words or explanation. It is your true nature, the eternal light of your soul. There is no point trying to reach it, just as there is no point trying to escape your physical reality. To ascend spiritually is to accept and love your physical reality. Higher consciousness means being fully present in each moment. Stop trying to reach it and you may just realize you're already there. Again, sweetheart, you are not ungrateful. You are very grateful for your life. You know what you want. There's nothing wrong with that. You just have to work within the frameworks of what you already have to get what you want. And that's the best way to get what you want. But yeah, you have some really great stuff coming up ahead of you, because your true nature is that of the blissful person and the bliss seeker. And because you seek these things and you often gain these things through keeping your desires simple, you inspire everyone around you to be the same way. You inspire that softness and that kindness in other people simply by being who you are, by virtue of being who you are. So pile 4, if you want magic, it's a slow process, but go out there and get it. It's safe for you to do so. You got to get rid of that friend, babes. You got to get rid of that friend, because they're just, boy, you do not need jealousy in your life, darling. So that was for you, pile 4. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye, my darlings.